Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we're going to be looking at the entire cryptocurrency market, its valuations against Bitcoin. We're also going to be looking at Bitcoin against the US dollar, the Bitcoin dominance chart, state of the altcoins video. This video is kind of, I would say, pretty hopium. I would say it's pretty. I'm going to be covering some stuff that might reassure some people, reassures me, and just kind of looking at the broader altcoin market space in conjunction with Bitcoin. Now, just to start it off, let's start it off with some fear. Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index has been in extreme fear for the past 2 weeks or so. Right, ever since I would say ever since what's the threshold? I think 28 I would say is extreme fear. We've been in this area since the 3rd, basically, or the 4th. It's currently January 18th. So for 15 days, little over 2 weeks, we've been in extreme fear. The lowest we've been going for was a greed index of 10. It's pretty crazy. I would like to remind people though that the fear and greed index is basically just showing you what you already know. If the price is low or falling like this, then there's going to be fear. If the price is rallying, then there's going to be greed. It tells you what you already know. And with that said, you also have to take a look at the data sources. Surveys are currently paused. They have been paused for quite a while. But trends is also something that's suspect, right? Especially what they're using. If we just take it at face value, we don't know the exact Google trends that they're looking at. But you could see from this last sentence. But currently, you can see that there is currently a 1,550% rise of the query Bitcoin price manipulation in the box of related search queries as of May 29th, 2018. This is clearly a sign of fear in the market, and we can use that for our index. Bitcoin price manipulation goes both ways. You can have manipulation to the upside, as quite simply. I would take this trend as a grain of salt. Regardless, it only encompasses 10% of the entire index. Volatility, market momentum, volume take up 50%. Social media also takes another 15%. Dominance as well. These are things that you would take into consideration in terms of sourcing data to determine the fear and greed index. I'm just saying, take it with a grain of salt, and realistically, it's already telling you what you already know, right? If the price is rallying, it's going to be greed. If the price is falling, it's going to be fear. You can really just tell that from the charts. In any case, looking at Bitcoin is down, 1.5% for today. Pretty much coming back to the market open of last week. Currently trading at $41,619. If we go to the hourly, you can see that we're pretty much at the levels that we were back on the 11th. Obviously not as low as the 10th of January, where we wicked down to just below $40,000. But we are teetering at this level, I would say. This entire structure here, we're teetering at that level. So looking back here, it seems like right now the fight for this level of $40,000 continues. We've been working at it for the past number of weeks. A couple months ago, back in September, we bounced off of it, and back in June we got rejected off of it, and also back in January of last year, we also got rejected off of it. So you can't say this is a pretty significant level, and it is an even number, as what people will say. Even numbers have this mental obstacle in front of them, right? People like even numbers, whole numbers. $40,000, $41,000 and $40,000 realistically doesn't make that much of a difference, but it does to the market. Okay, so moving forward here, Bitcoin dominance here. We've been fighting, right? We've been stuck at around 40% dominance. As you can see, we bounced off this level two times already, and we're hoping that this breaks. And if it does break, that's good for I would say it's good for the market in general, not just Bitcoin, or not just only altcoins, because this is what this chart is telling us. The lower Bitcoin dominance is, the stronger the altcoin market is, right? And you can see that from this chart, that from here of the beginning of the year to where we are now, altcoins are much more stronger. They're in a better position now than they were back here in general. Regardless, we are still fighting at this level for the past 5 weeks. It's been, you can see it's kind of trending down, and if we flip it to the daily, it's a little easier to see that we are still kind of trending down more or less, for dominance, right? The past 2 days, obviously, we've been rising, but every single time we have risen, even on the daily, has been a lower high, right? Lower high, lower high, lower high. Hopefully, this is going to be a lower high, so on and so forth. But this is essentially what we're looking at here, and this is kind of the big moment for, I think, the market. And I've been saying this for weeks on end, of we are going to get a decision from, and it's going to be showing in the Bitcoin dominance, and it's going to reverberate throughout the entire market. If we see Bitcoin bounce like it has the last two times, like we see here and here, altcoins are going to falter. Ethereum is probably going to drop heavily. Chainlink's not going to do well. Uniswap, basic attention token, etc. These altcoins are not going to be doing well, most likely. However, if we get an answer to the downside, then excuse me, then it is likely that altcoins are going to do well. They're going to continue to outpace Bitcoin. We'd probably see Ethereum, if we're looking at the Ethereum chart here and looking at this structure, probably seeing it bounce out out of this level and continue on higher. Chainlink, most likely we'll see it bounce off the 20-week moving average and continue higher and create a reversal. Uniswap most likely will be breaking the 20-week moving average, so on and so forth. So that's kind of the outlook the kind of scenario that we have right now, and I think it's a very pivotal moment for the market. I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's going to be a pivotal moment nonetheless. Now let's move on to Total 2. Now Total 2 is the total cryptocurrency market cap minus Bitcoin. And so that is currently trading at $1.75 trillion. When looking at the altcoin market, obviously, we've broken the 20-week moving average. However, we are currently hovering just above the 50-week moving average. Same thing with the total cryptocurrency market cap. The 50-week moving average is now holding as support for the past 3 weeks or so. And for Total 2, we've been hovering just above it. And so this is, again, another pivotal moment. It kind of lines up. Everything's lining up very well in terms of supports. Bitcoin dominance is holding the 40% level quite well. Total and Total 2 are hovering over the 50-week moving average. And you can see that if we go to the upside and Bitcoin dominance breaks down, looks like a beautiful bounce off the support. And vice versa, it would be a classic break of support off the 50-week moving average and probably down to the 100-week. The last chart that I want to show you here is the Total 2 divided by the BLX. Now, this is essentially, don't mind the value necessarily. 27.765 million Bitcoin, there is none. There is not that many, but this market shows how much Bitcoin, the total cryptocurrency market cap of altcoins, can buy. And so right now it's currently rated at 27.77 million. We've been fighting this all-time high, basically. The all-time high We still haven't broken back in 2018, but it was rated at 30.61 million Bitcoin. Currently, right now, we're at 27.76. Again, this is almost like the inverted Bitcoin dominance, you can say. But in essence, we've been hitting our head up here. We have a rising support level. If anything, this is a bullish structure, I would say. We see a rising support level, a constant level of resistance, and the classic bounce off and then break above. This is the kind of thing that we're talking about here, and this is one of the other charts that I'm looking at over time. We're seeing this structure form, and the question is can we break out of it now? With what Bitcoin's doing right now, with the fear and greed index being at where it is, it seems almost likely that we might come back down and bounce off. That would be kind of my outlook here. The more bullish outlook is that we kind of hold where we are now. We hold at 40% dominance, and we kind of already and we just break through now. That is also a possibility. Not necessarily the most likely one in my opinion, but it is a possibility nonetheless. I see it's more likely that we come back down. Bitcoin dominance comes back up, it makes a lower high, and come back down and break through 40%. And when looking at total 2 divided by the BLX, it'll show as this structure most likely. The bearish scenario obviously is that we just break through, right? This structure is invalidated. But if we do break through, that would most likely mean that Bitcoin's coming straight down to the 100-week moving average, and altcoins are just going to be eviscerated, in my opinion. Bitcoin dominance is going to rise. It's going to create a reversal on Bitcoin dominance, and then at that point, it's kind of just holding by the seat of your pants and seeing where we land. I think. I'm not trading anything at this moment. I haven't been for a very long time. But if the bear scenario does happen, then at that point, it for me, that's when I start buying Bitcoin. And I'm bringing it back to accumulation. At that point, 100-week moving average is probably likely $31,000. And anything lower than that is going to be a huge buy signal for me, in my opinion. That's when I'll make an effort to try to accumulate Bitcoin. I wouldn't be accumulating altcoins at that point, but I would be accumulating Bitcoin. But yeah, that's essentially it, folks. Regardless, I think the most likely scenario is that we are going to be pushing through. We will be breaking 40% dominance. It might not be now. We might be putting in a new lower high on the macro sense of Bitcoin dominance, but we'll come back stronger, break through 40% dominance, break through the all-time high of total 2 divided by the BLX, and everyone's going to be happy with their altcoin positions. It's not going to be easy, obviously. If this bounce does happen, it's going to look really bad for altcoins and their Bitcoin valuation specifically. It's going to look pretty bad. Obviously, there's going to be some altcoins that are the exception. I mean, yesterday was a great example, or the past several weeks, Cardano has been a great example of that, just outpacing the market completely. Doing very well despite what Bitcoin is doing. Regardless, it's not going to be easy, is what I'm trying to say. It's not going to be easy. 100-week moving average of Bitcoin at $31,000 is not going to be very easy for a lot of people, especially because everyone's been if we look here, everyone's been accumulating in this area for the past year, and $31,000 is basically at the bottom of that structure. On average, most people are probably buying from 41,000 up, right? And so if it does come down to $31,000, then anyone who's bought in that area is going to be in the red, obviously. And I think a lot of people who have been buying are new people. They came in too late into the market and they're buying here at the top. Classic newbie move, in my opinion. But no shame on them, right? I mean, it's just the time that they bought. If they had any conviction, they could be buying more at lower prices, but odds are is that they're going to get spooked, and that's probably what's going to bring us back down to 100-week moving average at to $31,000. But yeah, that's all for today, you guys. I hope that helps to some degree on kind of what my outlook on the next so often time for the market. Yes, the market's not doing great. It's not exciting, or if it is exciting, it's exciting in the wrong sense. But I think I still have the belief that altcoins are going to do well. We are going to push through 40% dominance. We're going to break the new all-time high for total 2 divided by the BLX and its valuation in Bitcoin, so on and so forth. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll see y'all next time. Take care. Bye bye.